Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping.
It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
Behind the back to Jaren for the flush.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three. Yes, sir. Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you didn't think this would be the year the Grizz would have their preferred starting lineup in the season opener, because it doesn't appear we're headed that direction. Jaren Jackson Jr.'s hamstring, it still isn't perfect, so he's unlikely to play tomorrow night. Taylor Jenkins told us yesterday afternoon. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, Chris Vernon going to join me. He's the host, Chris Vernon Show, weekdays, noon, Grind City Media. He'll pop in here in about 20 minutes. We'll talk Grizz and the NBA. Chris Vernon will be here in the next segment. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them is Tyreek Smith's situation at Memphis has gotten super crazy and very public. I'll tell you everything I know about it. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Tua Tagovailoa says he will not wear a Guardian cap when he returns to the field, presumably this season. I'll tell you exactly what I think about that. We'll do that a little later on in the show. The Ravens and Cardinals won on Monday Night Football. Lamar Jackson accounted for 5 touchdowns. We'll talk about last night's game. We'll do that in the third segment. Jameson Williams, he's an Alabama alum, and his NFL career has taken another goofy turn with the Lions. I'll tell you what happened this time. We'll do it in the second hour. And Jackson Hopper, the man who was charged with first-degree murder in the death of Ellie Young, he has been arraigned. He's being held without bond. I watched his arrest video. It was wild.
I just watched it.
It was wild.
It was wild.
It was wild. We'll spend a few minutes on that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry-out, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the NBA because, hey, it's here. Opening day is here. Doubleheader tonight. Knicks Celtics 6:30. Then we get Timberwolves Lakers. That's going to be right around 9 o'clock. Both games on TNT. And in the nightcap, history could be made. It is expected to be made because in the nightcap, LeBron James and LeBron James Jr. are expected to be on the court at some point at the same time, at which point they will become the first father-son duo in history to play together in an NBA regular season game. It should be a special scene. King Griffey and King Griffey Jr. will be in attendance.
Oh, that's cool.
If you didn't know, they are the first father-son duo to ever play together in a Major League Baseball game. Tonight, they'll be inside Crypto.com Arena to witness LeBron and his son, Bronny, do the same thing in the NBA. Big Bet Bennett, you going to have your arm around little Noah tonight to experience this father-son moment together? Will you shed a tear as history is made?
I don't think I'll shed a tear, but I do think it's a cool moment.
It'd be a cool moment.
I think it's cool, and I think it's like also smart too, because listen, the naysayers, and I've seen them, everyone's going to say, this is so stupid. He's not an NBA player.
Yep.
Like, why would you do this? You're trying to win games. The season's starting. But if you're the Lakers, it makes complete sense to get this out of the way the first game. Like, the stakes are, I know it's national TV, it's opening night, but like, it's the first game of a long NBA season. The stakes are very low. This is when you do it.
For every game you don't do it, it just extends people asking you, when are you going to do it? When is it going to happen? Just get it over with.
Just do it, yeah.
And like, keep it, to make history tonight, LeBron and Bronny don't have to play the final 6 minutes of regulation together, or the first 6 minutes of regulation together, or a key 7-minute span in the third quarter when the game is capable of going any direction. You know what they have to do? Like, quite literally, you can manipulate it this way. There's 2 seconds left in the first half. Timeout. And Minnesota's got the ball. Timeout. Bronny, you're in. History is made.
That's it.
Anthony Edwards launches something at the buzzer. Let's go to the locker room. We made history. Look, there's Ken Sr. and Ken Jr. What a nice thing. It can be something as small and as insignificant as that. And evidence that King Griffey Jr. and King Griffey Sr. have already announced we will be in the arena suggests to me they already know we're going to make history tonight one way or another. Maybe they don't know exactly when and exactly how, but it seems pretty obvious that J.J. Redick and LeBron and Bronny have already, in consultation with each other, decided we're going to get this over with tonight.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about it going into game 2. We're going to celebrate it after game 1, and then we're going to be done with this.
Yeah, and it's the smart move because I think, we'll see. Like, Bronny could come in and be awesome. He hasn't shown anything really yet, like, to suggest that that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
I think he's probably, just from, like, things that I've kind of heard a little bit.
Oh, you hearing things?
I'm hearing things.
Where are you hearing these things?
I don't want to say. I don't want to say. I got sources.
I like that you're hearing things.
I got sources.
I always wanted to have a producer who was hearing things around the league. So go. This is good.
Oh, I think he's going to spend some time with the South Bay Lakers.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, I heard that too.
Did you hear that too? Okay. Well, I just wanted to know. I didn't know. I hadn't seen it out there too much. I just wanted to make sure that I was getting out in front of things.
Oh, look at who's trying to fill the void left by Woj.
But he's going to spend some time with the G League team. So like you do this now so you don't have to, like, I mean, first off, I'm sure the Lakers G League team doesn't want this microscope being like, when's he going to come back to the big squad? You just get it out of the way.
Over. It's just smart. It's smart business for everybody. Just get it over tonight. Let everybody have their moment. And you're right. It will be a cool scene. I don't think I'll shed a tear. Mostly because I'll be alone in a hotel room in Kansas City. I won't get to experience
that might make shed a tear.
Actually, being alone in a hotel room in Kansas City is the type of thing at this point in my life that would make me shed a tear. I'm more likely to shed a tear about that than I am anything else. I've had I won't get to experience it with my kids, so I'm envious. I
will.
I'm envious of you. I'm envious of Vernon.
Gather around, children.
You'll get to experience this with your sons. I'll be in a hotel room in Kansas City alone. So maybe I will shed a tear for reasons I don't even know yet.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just shed tears. You don't even see them coming.
Right.
You don't even see them. So I'm not here to predict the future. What I will say is it'll be a special moment, a neat moment. It will not be as authentic as the Griffey's moment was, because there was no debate about whether King Griffey Jr. belonged.
Right.
King Griffey Jr. was a phenom.
He was awesome.
King Griffey Jr. would be like if LeBron James's father had played in the NBA and was still in the NBA, and here comes phenom LeBron James straight out of Akron. That's what that was. Because King Griffey Sr. was obviously a veteran, longtime big leaguer for a long time on his own merit. Like, he had no advantage to getting there other than, he could hit and catch and throw. And then he raised a son who became quite literally one of the greatest baseball players of all time. So when King Griffey Jr. and King Griffey Sr. first appeared on a baseball field together, nobody questioned whether it was manipulated or credible or something to be celebrated. We all recognized it exactly for what it was, which is this unprecedented and amazing thing that all fathers and sons should be able to look at and go, obviously, the odds are ever stacked against anybody to experience something like that. But how cool is something like that?
Yeah.
We were all on the same page. Tonight, we won't all be on the same page. This will get mocked in some circles. Not by me, not by you, but by some, because here's the truth. Bronny James is better at basketball than any of my children. Okay? He's not an NBA player. He would not be in this league if not for his father quite literally making it happen. And if you're willing to accept that as fact because it's a fact, then what you can draw from that is that anybody could have been the first father-son duo in the NBA if the father was powerful enough to get the franchise to draft the son. Like, if Kevin Durant had a 20-year-old son and was powerful enough to get whatever franchise to draft him, then Kevin Durant and his 20-year-old son could have been the. This isn't like LeBron James is still hanging around and he was so good for so long that when his son emerged as a legitimate NBA prospect and player, he was still in the league and this moment was created. His son should not be in the league. His son would not be in the league if not for LeBron and Clutch making it happen. So it will not be as authentic as what we watched with the Griffeys once upon a time. But I'm willing to put that aside and just appreciate it as this. It's going to mean something to LeBron. It's going to mean something to his son. And as a father of three, I'm not going to shit on moments that are special for fathers and sons.
No, it means something to this show.
It means something to us.
Yes.
I might shed a tear tonight.
This is our moment, too.
For reasons that, remain undetermined. Now to the bad news. And the bad news being that Taylor Jenkins told us yesterday that Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't expected to be available for tomorrow's regular season opener in Salt Lake City. Jaren, of course, he strained a hamstring first day of training camp. Initially, we were told he would likely be available for the regular season opener. But now, here we are, one day out from the regular season opener, and barring a surprise, Jaren Jackson Jr. will be in street clothes tomorrow night. Big Bet Bennett, I tried to warn you about this last week. You remember that, right?
I remember.
I told you, I said here on Friday, I believe it was, and I said, I don't feel so good. And you said, why? A rough night last night? I said, no, it's got nothing to do with it. I said, but I don't feel so good. And you said, what's going on with it? I said, I listened to Taylor Jenkins talk, and man, he didn't sound like a man who believes Jaren Jackson Jr. is going to be ready for the opener. And everybody was like, but they told us he's going to be ready for the opener. They told us everything would be fine. I said, I know, but I've been listening to Taylor Jenkins for a little while now, and I know when he's saying something, and I know when he's not saying something. And when he says things like, if things go as planned, there's a chance, Jay, we ain't playing.
Yep.
When you frame it that way, just go ahead and put him on the out. Go ahead and send me that Grizz PR out. Because when you're talking like that, I know where this leads. This ain't my first trip around the block, And so we now know, according to Taylor Jenkins, a little more definitive yesterday than he was last week. Barring a surprise, Jaren Jackson Jr. will not be in the starting lineup tomorrow night. The Grizzlies are going to start 1-0. They're going to have to do it without the services of their former Defensive Player of the Year. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. I don't like it, obviously, because, again, we all have PTSD from last season. I do understand, because it's a hamstring, that these things are, that's a tough injury, just because you think you're good and then you run and it feels weird. And, dude, I'll say I'm glad that they're being overly cautious, and here's why. I'll give you a prime example. Last night, Monday Night Football, Mike Evans, he was questionable all week leading up to that game with a hamstring, okay? Good to go, game day. Okay, he starts, scores a touchdown on the opening drive. Kind of feels a little bit on that touchdown on the opening drive. Keeps playing through it. Baker throws a bomb to him in the end zone, and he just drops the ball, falls down, grabs his hamstring.
And now he's probably got to retire.
And now he's going to be out for an extended period of time. And that's how sensitive that injury is it's like it can go from like, I'm good, it's just kind of to like maybe you tore your hamstring like Mike Evans last night.
Of course. Like, let me be clear. If it's not clear, when I say I don't like it, what I mean is I don't like that Jaren Jackson Jr. isn't healthy enough to play tomorrow night. I don't mean I don't like the decision not to play tomorrow night under these circumstances.
No, I got you.
Like, it's an opening night game in Utah that you should win even without Jaren Jackson Jr.
For sure.
So, like, of course. I just don't like that we even have to talk about this.
No, I don't either.
That's the thing. I just wanted to be talking about, man, tomorrow night, what do you think John and Zach are going to look like together?
Yeah.
And what do you think Jaren and Zach are going to look like in that front court? Like, that's what I wanted to be talking about today, not this. They do say that he is expected to play later this week.
Okay.
I know you know how weeks work.
Yes. Kind of.
I don't know that you
kind of actually.
I actually don't know that you know how weeks work.
I told you today I wanted to talk about Thursday night football at some point. Well, it was Monday night football.
I know, and so I put into the rundown Thursday night football. You got me all screwed up, and I'm merely reacting to what you told me. You were like, put Thursday night football in there. I said, you got it. Next thing you know, I'm talking about Thursday night football on Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know how weeks work.
I don't know if you know how weeks work. I take that back. I understand. Most people know how weeks work, all right? And so today is Tuesday, and so you got a game on a Wednesday, right? And then Thursday is still part of this week, Friday part of this week, Saturday part of this week, and then Sunday starts the next week. So
Correct.
when they say, you knew that.
That's accurate,
You
yes.
knew all that.
Yeah.
I know you knew
Had
all
to
that.
think about it for a second.
I know, but you knew it.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had a pop quizzed you on when does the weekend, you
that.
could have got that. I believe in you at least that much. So when they say he's expected to play later this week, but not expected to play Wednesday, then that means he's got to play Friday or Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. And given that he's coming off of a hamstring injury, you wouldn't reasonably expect him to play in a back-to-back, would you? And so if you're on the road on Friday, but your home opener is Saturday, and you know that he's not playing in both of those games no matter what, why not just give him the extra day off, miss Friday's game as well, and Jaren Jackson Jr.'s regular season debut? That's Saturday night inside FedEx Forum against the Orlando Magic and Paolo Banchero. That's the plan, right?
I like that scenario.
I mean, that's what we're doing, right? I mean, I know
that's what they're doing.
They haven't said that, but that's what the plan has to be.
Yeah.
If you say he's unlikely to play on Wednesday, but is likely to play later this week, well, there's only 2 more games later this week. They're back-to-backs. We know he ain't playing a back-to-back with a hamstring issue. So if he's going to play later this week, give him the extra day off on. Why would you play Friday and then take off Saturday? Why not just get the extra day of rest on Friday and then play on Saturday? Home debut, Jaren Jackson Jr., first game of the season. That's where we're headed.
It sounds good to me.
I'll take it.
I can get through 2 road games to start the season.
I can too.
I think the Grizzlies can as well.
But if I get one more email,
I know.
One more tweet,
I can't do much more.
I can't do it. Do not. If I see a doubtful,
I can't do that.
If I see a doubtful on that injury report heading into Saturday's game, then we're going. Then we're gonna have something to talk about.
You know what? Where I'm gonna feel positive. God, I love how we dissect injury reports so much. Probably more than any other fan base in the league.
I mean,
I know.
What else are we supposed to do around here? What else do you want to do?
I'll feel really good if he's doubtful going into tomorrow night, as opposed to just out. That's, you know what I'm saying? He's on the injury report is doubtful.
Don't play with my emotions. Just put him out.
That's what I'm saying.
Just put him out.
No. Because the doubtful, that's a positive. That means we're on our way. We're on our way back for Saturday.
I feel like we're on our way back.
I need a doubtful thrown in there between one of these 2 games.
I understand.
Between one of these 2 road games.
Words matter, Bennett.
Words are important.
Words have meanings and words matter. If it just list him as doubtful, Bennett needs something to be optimistic about. Chris Vernon, be in studio next.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you.
What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, do win Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges. I gotta get them. And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho Southwest inside the Bill Ford Tough Studio. And on Tuesdays in the second segment, it's Chris Vernon from the Chris Vernon Show. Weekdays noon, Grind City Media. What's up, Chris Vernon?
Yo.
How are you? Oh, happy opening day to you.
Yeah, happy opening day.
We'll have a doubleheader tonight. Are you going to grab William, put your arm around him tonight, watch LeBron and Bronny have that special moment, and look at your boy and say, if you just keep working hard, this could be us.
No.
This could be us.
You guys are out of control.
It's just
a love for LeBron.
It's a special moment, dude.
It's a special
love for LeBron.
Fathers. We're fathers.
Yeah. I am too.
I know. We can look at what's happening between LeBron and Bronny and go, maybe one day that's going to be me.
That's not what you say.
That's going to be me.
You would hope that your kid, if he's not, I would think, maybe you don't feel this way. You would hope your kid is deserving of that he's earned. What he has got.
Oh, no way. I got Aiden.
You don't care.
Aiden's starting a new show here next January.
Yeah, right.
4 to 6. And me and Aiden are going to be the first two father-son duo to ever do Grind City Media.
People resent people that are deserving of what they've gotten, right? Like Joe Buck is great at what he does.
Noah Eagle.
Great at what he does.
Right.
But if Johnny Costas got a job on NBC and was terrible...
I mean, people don't even want Bob Costas
be like,
anymore.
oh, my God, that is amazing. That's just amazing. What a father-son moment.
Well, it is Chris Collins.
You would not.
It is Chris Collinsworth and his son, because his son got catapulted into, Notre Dame, Jack. And he's
Did you and your son sit on the couch and think about what an amazing moment that was?
But that was the difference.
You did that?
Bennett did that.
You thought, wow, this is the Collinsworths. Me and my son need to acknowledge this and feel great about this.
I talked to my boys on the way to school this morning, and I told them we could be
you
just
did
like...
Not, you did not talk to your boys on the way to school. I absolutely don't believe this. Both of them had on headphones. Both of them had tablets on.
We have no
You
headphones. We have no
Stop.
headphones on the way to
Stop.
school. We listen to Hits 1.
I don't agree
We
with
listen
you.
to Hits 1 to get our juices flowing a little
you
bit.
don't.
We listen to like
and you
Chaperone.
guys argue, and then you guys argue about it, and you tell one of them to shut up, and the other one hits the other one in the head. This idea that he had some kind of real conversation. Have you ever been around these kids? There was no.
You don't know. You don't know what they like at 7:30 in the morning.
Stop.
They don't say a word.
Of course they don't.
They don't even fight with each other. That's what I'm saying. They don't nothing. It's like they're in a coma in the back seat.
Dude, what is up with that? It's so true.
They ride to school in a coma. They ride home from school. They're ready to fist fight each other and put a Baskin Robbins cone in your nose. But on the way to school, it's like a coma.
That's weird. That's a boy thing because you have
It is a
boys
boy
as
thing.
well.
Dude, my kids are the exact same. Like in the morning, I'm like, hello, are you there? Yeah.
So that's a boy thing.
Yeah.
Because if you were to put my daughter in that car,
she's ready to go.
Oh, I mean, out the bed.
Yeah. No, my dudes.
Ba, 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 ba,
My
ba,
dudes
ba,
don't
ba,
have
ba,
much
ba.
to say in the mornings.
Like she's not. She's ready to face the day.
No, they're not.
You know what I mean?
They're ready to give up on the day.
No, my son's the same way. And he doesn't want to go to school.
No, here's the point I was trying to make. With Joe Buck, it's legitimate. With Noah Eagle, legitimate. The Jack Collinsworth thing felt like he didn't belong, and that is what the LeBron Bronny thing is. I can acknowledge that.
But you guys are going to sit there and have a little powwow with your son.
No, but here's what I think. No, I'll be in I'll be in a hotel room by myself in Kansas City.
I'll have a powwow.
But Ben is going to have a powwow.
Yeah.
I will appreciate it as something that I know means something to them, but the idea that this is the same thing as the Griffeys, it's just not. King Griffey Jr. was a phenom. That's why they had that moment.
And his dad was in the Big Red Machine.
Yes. That's why they had that moment.
You know what I mean? Like,
that's an authentic moment, and this is a constructed moment. I just
find it like I remember when Woj went on ESPN during the draft,
right.
And he's like, you know, people are saying that this is nepotism. Nepotism goes on everywhere. It goes on everywhere in the league, right? And it was kind of like this talk down to you, like, hey, nepotism. Of course, we know that, right? People get jobs because of their connections. People get jobs because of their family, etc. And generally, people all resent that.
That's right.
Right? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, we do know this goes on everywhere. And so we're not just saying, hey, this is annoying because of this. It's always annoying.
You know, this is.
But it's like, you're not allowed to be annoyed by this. Even though, yes, we know it goes on everywhere.
Right.
We know it goes on. Like you and I we have all kinds of friends that now work at their dad's business or whatever. And some of them totally legitimate and should be running the business. Some of them are just the kids of the owner.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I know both those people.
We know that.
Yeah.
We know those people.
Yeah.
And the ones that are deserving, we're like, oh, you know what? If I was that dad, I'd hand that business over to him too.
Right.
And there's others that we're like, if I was that dad, I would never let him run the business. And they probably won't, honestly.
Right.
By the time they're ready, those are the dads that they're 95 years old and they're still running their own business.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because they can't let go of it.
This is Vince McMahon refusing to give that thing to Shane. You
really
watch the
is.
doc.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I'm not giving this thing. I will work until I die.
That's right.
His dad.
Oh, yeah.
Same thing. You remember his dad with him?
He said he'd never. That was the most, not the most, but that was an interesting aspect. He was like, my dad never said he was proud of me until after I'd already done the whole big thing.
Right.
And like, he just had these weird moments with his father that was telling or something.
Oh, well,
it helps you
understand. It gives you an insight into not empathy, but understanding.
That's right.
You start to understand, like, oh, this guy's messed up, and this started very early in his life.
Just about everybody who is messed up, it started very early in their life.
In many cases.
Yeah, just about every one of them. Hey, how's your hamstring?
Mine's great.
Mine are great too.
I mean, but I have been rather inactive instead of walking, except for walking.
Yeah, I mostly only walk. I slightly jog.
We're at walking age.
Yeah.
You know when it's bad? When I'm getting the Instagram ads of how much I need to walk to not be a fat ass.
Mine's
there's
actually...
like an app that can tell me. I almost downloaded it. And it was like, Put in your weight, put in your height. Here's how many miles you need to walk today to not be a fat ass.
No,
and
it's like my watch will be like constantly being like, it's time to stand up. And I'm like, you don't know. You're not in charge of telling me.
Your watch tells you to stand up?
All the time. It's always want me to stand up.
That watch.
And sometimes I'm like on a plane. I'm like, calm down. I'm relaxing. Like, calm down.
It knows when you stand up, too, huh?
Oh, yeah, no. Sometimes I stand up just to make it proud of me. Like
what kind of watch is this?
I don't know. It's an Apple Watch.
It's an Apple Watch.
Yeah, it tells me to stand up.
An Apple Watch tells you to stand up.
Tells me to stand up. Tells me it's time to. It tells me it's like it'll tell me it's proud of me. It'll be like, you're off to a great start moving around today.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. It's encouraging as much as it holds you accountable, but it is also encouraging.
Oh, okay.
It is also encouraging.
Does it ever say, "Man, you didn't last long"?
Wow.
It says, GP, is that all you got? No, it doesn't say that.
Oh, okay.
I don't think
it should.
What if it did?
Did it encourage you? Great job, Gary.
What if your Apple...
You must have taken the pill.
Apple could change the game, man.
What if your
that's the
Apple
age
Watch...
I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm at the age where I go play golf and people offer me pills and they're wiener pills. Every friend of mine has a damn prescription.
Carrying them around in their golf bag just in case.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Benny.
You taking one?
No. Okay. No, my wiener's working just fine, bro.
Yeah. Wiener just fine.
Don't give me
the Apple Watch
I don't
might
need those
disagree.
pills.
Yeah. And let's see
that sounds like a guy without an Apple Watch.
Yeah. You think you're fine, but I don't see your watch on.
Where's your watch?
Yeah.
That's why you wear a bracelet.
Yeah, put a watch on. Let's see what the watch thinks. Let's see what Apple thinks about your wiener.
No, my hamstring is fine. And look, it seems like there are abundance of caution with Jaren Jackson Jr. because by all accounts, he is okay.
Right.
I also think, I do wonder if the schedule was not the way it was. This is, I mean, it didn't hit me until last week when I looked at it because obviously I'm looking at the schedule in many cases through the prism of when are the home games because those are the ones that I for sure have to mark off as I'm unavailable. And I've got to be down at the arena. And it's like 6 in like the first 8 days.
Right.
And so that is, I think, probably part of the calculus with this, right? That you're playing Wednesday, you're playing Friday, and you're playing on Saturday.
Right.
And so that's 3 and 4,
right.
Right off the bat. And then you go Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Right.
And so I think that's an awful lot to put on a guy, right? If you're trying to nurse somebody back to health and trying to make sure that they can stay healthy over the course of 82 games, then I think that they've always been very careful with this stuff, but I do think that it's probably a function of the way the schedule breaks.
Right.
It's like, okay, if you miss the first 2, then maybe we'll be able to get you for 3 of the next 4.
And that seems like the plan. Sit out tomorrow to get multiple days of extra rest. You should still be favored to win the game in Salt Lake City without him. Knock that out. You were never going to play him in back-to-backs. Give him the extra day off on Friday,
right,
and then debut it at home on Saturday. That's where we're headed, right?
Yeah, and just get this out of the way, man. Right. I'd rather have the injuries at the front.
Yeah.
Right? The injuries as the season goes on is when it's brutal. But as long as you're, I think what you're hoping right now is that you look up and by December you've got a healthy roster.
That's right.
That's the hope.
That's right. Speaking of unhealthy rosters, just being tweeted from Shams, Embiid and Paul George both out for the regular season opener. No surprise. I think we knew where this was headed when Paul George went down in the preseason. But
what's the Embiid thing? Knee?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be.
That's not good.
Embiid is progressing well and ramping up, scrimmaging this week.
Not the way you want the season to begin.
Because this is your, anything, Joel Embiid on the court is amazing, but you can't, can you rely on, you can't rely on that, can you?
Look, you look at last year when they had to play their way into the deal. Right. I was reading something last night when we were doing our season preview. They won, it was a tick under 80% winning percentage with him in the lineup, and it was like 30-something without him.
Right.
That's how profound it is when he is on the court versus when he is off.
So how do you handle that if you're them? Is it just like
I think
finish
most
in
of
the
these
top
teams,
6 and be healthy?
I think with most of these teams, their attempt is like, hey, we want to we want to keep these guys as healthy as we can because the only thing that matters to us is the postseason. And Adam Silver can't love that because you have people that buy the game. You have people that buy tickets to games, and you also have a $1 billion TV contract that was just signed that is going to be coming up next year. And you've got one of an MVP, one of the best players in the league, coming out and saying, I'll probably never play back-to-backs for the rest of my career. It's insane that you allow this to be vocalized, even if it's so.
Right.
How could you not call them immediately about, what are you doing?
There is no other sport that I follow where the players, coaches, everybody involved makes it clear from the jump, we're not actually trying to win our division or our conference.
Right.
Like, you would never hear the manager of the Yankees say on opening day, we're really hoping, we can get most important thing is to be healthy for the playoffs. If we can get a wild card, we're cool. They would never say that.
Never.
You would never hear that in the NFL.
No.
But in the NBA, it's like Mike Malone literally in the middle of last season said, we're not trying to be the 1 seed.
Right.
You never hear that in other sports. That's a problem.
It's a problem, and it's also a huge problem when you have, they tried to implement the 65-game thing last year to encourage guys to play more often. But, with somebody with Embiid, he basically vocalized, I'm a made man. I've won the MVP. I'm done caring about individual honors. I've made my money. I've gotten all my awards. What I care about is being healthy for the postseason.
Right.
Again, that very well, and that's true.
Right.
Don't say it.
Right.
The idea that they're so comfortable saying this stuff is what's crazy to me.
So there was a time where there was an issue, it still is an issue in college basketball. Mid-majors not being able to schedule high-major teams, and then they can't build an at-large resume. And then on Selection Sunday, the high-majors will look at the mid-majors, and they say, you hadn't played anybody. And the mid-majors say, we tried to play all of you. You wouldn't play us. And this was just a constant argument.
Right.
And I sort of wrote the column one time, probably 10 years ago, and I was just like, stop arguing over it. Fix it. It's not going to change by anybody making their point. We've done all this. If you're a mid-major coach and you're frustrated that you can't get high majors to come to your place and play you, understand it ain't going to change. You've already bitched about it enough. It ain't changing. So if you want to go play a high major, just go play them there. Go play them wherever you can play them. But stop complaining about this thing because it's not going to change. I almost feel the same way about this. You can keep saying, you and I think agree. It's crazy how much time NBA players don't want to spend on the court in the regular season, but it ain't changing.
It did last year because of the 65 games. You saw guys coming back and playing because. But Tyrese Halliburton would have absolutely sat out and really, he honestly is crazy. He still ended up making an All-NBA team at the end, but he was a absolute shell of himself. It was all based upon what he did early in the season through the in-season tournament, and he came back just to get to that 65.
That's a fair point. The 65 mark did help.
Yes.
But it's still not perfect. You have stars that we know are just not going to play in back-to-backs. Is the fact that we know stars aren't going to play in back-to-backs often enough for the NBA to stop saying we wish you would and just say, we're going to eliminate back-to-backs? We're just not going to have them anymore.
No.
They'll never do that.
No, because they've already reduced them in a massive, massive way. It's not that many.
But should it be zero?
No. There's not that many throughout the year. And, there's because Joel Embiid, who is oft injured. Right. And again, I am one of those that I would love to see the evidence that more rest provides, as we've talked about, more rest provides less injuries. I don't believe that.
Right.
I just don't.
Right.
I think you train yourself to play the amount of games, and then when you rest, all of a sudden now I'm coming back and I'm putting on this load of work onto me and I get it. They've got all these extra scientific things and whatever else.
Because I hear you, and what you're saying makes sense to me. I don't think what you're saying sounds ridiculous, but there is a member of the training staff
for sure
who thinks you sound like an idiot right now.
I know.
How do we balance those things?
Look, if you could provide me
right
again, I'm all open to evidence. Once upon a time somebody showed me evidence that shooting a lot more threes is the way to win.
Right.
I mean, the Celtics just proved it. They shot 50 a game last year, and it worked pretty well. Now, not for all teams, but the math works. Right? Here's the math on this. Here's why this is smart. And we've now been going on for like 10 years of what is right. And the other thing is, I don't know, again, what best practices are. Everybody could just say, hey, this is fluky, or hey, these guys are injury prone, or hey, this guy needs something different than this. But I mean, like I was telling you, we were doing our season preview. Like, part of the reason, so Oklahoma City is the team that everybody's in love with this year, for good reason, right? You go back and look, their top 8 guys, all 8 played the whole damn season.
Right.
I'm talking over 70 games.
Right.
All of them, right? So, like, what's going on there?
Right.
They're young. They're so healthy.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Just random?
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is there something to it? And so, and they played 70-something games.
Right.
It's not like those kids were sitting out.
Right.
Like, they all played 70-something games. And then many times throughout history, you can go and look and, like, look, the same guys that miss a lot of games miss a lot of games. Right. And the same guys that play a lot of games play a lot of games, right? If I say Brad Beal, you know.
Right.
What are you signing up for?
Right.
Maybe 60?
Right.
That'd be, if I gave you over under 60 right now, you would take over in a set. I mean, you would, if I said you could, I'll give you the over.
Right.
You would take that in a heartbeat, and that's 60, right? And I mean, I think that there's some guys that, train themselves to be able to deal with it and to be durable. And I think there are probably a lot of best practices that go on with those guys and certain players throughout the league that train themselves. Some are just genetic freaks and they can just withstand it, right, on a day in, day out basis. But I mean, especially with like all the soft tissue stuff that you see throughout the year, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's some kind of better way to go about it. And I'm not sure that I've never been convinced that rest helps guys stay healthy.
Last thing before I get you out of here, I saw Zach Lowe return to Twitter this morning and, among other things, tweeted that his finals prediction, Celtics Thunder, with the Celtics becoming back-to-back champs. Is it clear to you, I know Celtics are the favorite in the betting markets, is it clear to you they should be?
I think that look, I think it's fair that they are the betting favorite. I think what we've learned is it's extremely hard to repeat. And they're not going to have Porzingis for half the season. I mean, that is immense to have to go with that. Like, I mean, Al Horford, I know everybody keeps saying he's not getting any younger. And, I mean, at some point, right, that's got to show up. And then we know Xavier Tillman. I mean, Porzingis is, I mean, he really unlocked a lot for them. And so I would just say that I think that they are a deserving, especially given that they had one of the best regular seasons ever last year. They've still got 2 wing superstars in their absolute primes. And I think it's fair to say that they should have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, which would never be relevant for a championship team, considering what happened with the Olympics, one of them being left off, one of them not getting to play, their teammate getting taken over them, whatever. I mean, I think on a night-in, night-out basis, they're still throwing out 4 at you that are better than your 4 almost every night when they've got Drew Holiday, Derek White, and the 2 wing players. And so I think that it's fair that they are the favorites, right? You probably should be the favorite until somebody knocks you off. I also think it's going to be super hard to repeat. I picked the Knicks.
The Knicks?
I'd
Yeah.
be fine.
I did.
The Knicks winning a championship would be amazing. The Knicks winning a championship would be amazing.
I just think they're I think they equipped themselves for that, right? Bridges and Anunoby on wings. Right. Brunson is your point guard. And now you got your own stretch 5.
Yeah.
That can move it out.
Yeah, they got the pieces.
Yeah.
That's Chris Vernon. He'll be in a big studio at noon. The Chris Vernon Show. We come back. Tyreek Smith situation.
Get Apple
seems like it's getting settled over at the University of Memphis. I'll update you on that situation, tell you what I know about it. We'll do it next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream, By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
The Tyreek Smith situation at the University of Memphis continues to unfold very publicly all over social media. Big Bet Bennett, how closely have you been following it?
Probably not as closely as I should, but I did see that he was at practice this morning.
I am told he was at practice this morning, and there are indications to suggest that this situation is getting resolved. It's just unfortunate that it became so public, this misunderstanding / disagreement, because I've heard some other people say that there are messy NIL situations, in football and other places, and basketball at other places. And, the idea that you might have a disagreement or misunderstanding between a player and his rep and a university or a collective or a coach or an assistant coach, that isn't unique to Memphis. And I agree.
Yep.
You hear about these things behind the scenes. They mostly stay behind the scenes, though. They mostly get handled in the dark. This obviously became a very public thing over the weekend, and escalated to a place where, at CBS Sports, we have a Slack channel for college basketball, and, links are put in there, like anything that's interesting that might needs to get aggregated or might prompt a conversation or a column, and this stuff shows up in there. So you got, national college basketball writer. There's not a national college basketball writer or analyst in the country who isn't aware that something messy is going on at the University of Memphis. And given that there's always something messy seemingly going on at the University of Memphis, it just emphasizes the perception that things should be going a little more smoothly than they tend to go on that campus. Either way, here's what I can tell you. I do not believe this is Penny Hardaway's fault. I'm not even certain it's the University of Memphis's fault in any real way. Because what I am told is some of the allegations that have been made by Tyreek Smith's mentor / representative are simply untrue or misleading.
Okay.
I was told Tyreek Smith has not only received money, he's received a lot of money. You ready for this? Approximately already $175,000.
Then what's going on?
I think that's what the University of Memphis side is asking as well. Well, how did this turn into
a thing?
To this? What I am told is that there is a contract between the University of Memphis collective, the collective associated with the University of Memphis, and Tyreek Smith. Like, this isn't just some verbal agreement. There is a contract. And what I am told is that if Tyreek Smith decided to take that contract to an attorney today and say, find where they're in violation of it, he would not be able to find that. Every dollar that has been promised to date has been delivered, I'm told, and everything that is supposed to be delivered in the future is on schedule. What I'm told is this collective and anybody else connected to it, they're not behind on payments. And it's untrue that they haven't paid anything. Again, I am told that Tyreek Smith, who averaged 8 points and 5 rebounds a game at SMU last season, has already cashed $175,000 worth of checks. Now, is more expected to come? Yes, from collective partners, I'm told. But the idea that anybody has missed a payment, or they're behind on payments, or that they have not done what the contract states they should do, I'm told is simply untrue. Now, as for how this turns into this, it is possible that former assistant coaches on staff no longer promised things throughout the recruiting process that maybe haven't been fulfilled, like starting positions, guaranteed minutes. It's possible that Tyreek Smith, based on the information he was given by an assistant coach, didn't also think he was getting quite literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to come to the University of Memphis, that he would be coming to the University of Memphis to start. It seems pretty clear now that he's not going to be a starter on this team. His role was looking like, based on things that have happened this preseason, it'll be something lesser than what he envisioned, and perhaps even what he was told. But my understanding is those conversations, if they happen, would have happened between a former assistant coach and Tyreek Smith, not Penny Hardaway and Tyreek Smith. Bottom line, I think it's well established at this point. When I think the University of Memphis is wrong, I'm comfortable telling you that I think the University of Memphis is wrong. When I think Penny Hardaway is wrong, I think it's well established. I'm comfortable telling you I think Penny Hardaway is wrong. If I thought Penny Hardaway was wrong here, I would say it. I don't think he is. I think if you want to criticize him, it's for once again letting something blow up as opposed to handling behind the scenes. But to criticize him for that is to suggest that he should have anticipated this thing was about to blow up. I'm told that any issues with the collective weren't brought straight to the collective before they were made public. In other words, everybody would have preferred and been better off handling this quietly behind the scenes.
Yep.
And that's where, if I were Penny Hardaway, I might really be done with this. Like, I might really stand up and say everything I just said, and then say, and now you can take your $175,000, keep it. You got over on us, but you're not here anymore. If you are the type of person and player who's going to allow your mentor and representative to publicly embarrass us the way that he has, this is not the way we're operating. You're not here anymore. Now, keep in mind, I don't have, my job's not on the line. I'm not trying to win basketball games
I got you.
In 2 weeks. It's an easier thing for me to say than it probably is for him to do. But if you are wondering why Tony Bennett announced his retirement last week, it is because of stuff like this.
Stuff like this.
It's like,
yeah.
I don't want to deal with this.
Like, this was never a thing, 4 years ago?
No, this is the job now.
Yeah.
The main difference between Memphis and most high major schools as it pertains to this stuff right now is Memphis is putting out its fires publicly, and most fires at most other places are handled privately. They're never taken to social media. They're never taken to podcast and radio shows. They never end up on TV. They never end up creating national headlines at legitimate publications. It's just all stuff you might hear about if you got your ear to the ground, but it's not going to be on a message board anywhere. This stuff got very public in a way that I know Tyreek Smith's side of things. They thought this is what they needed to do. But I'm just saying, I'd like to think, I can't say for sure, I've never run a basketball program. I'd like to think if I were running a basketball program and one of my players, mentors, / representatives tried to embarrass me and my program so publicly, we would be done with them.
Because the thing is, too, is like, if he's not good, like this will come back. Like, the fan base will obviously bring all this stuff up.
Well, it's just also like what kind of, and I should be clear, I've never met this young man. I don't know him at all, but I know that this is his 4th different Division I university.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he's never been a meaningful part of anything successful at the collegiate level. I don't say that to be harsh. I'm just telling you the truth.
No, he wasn't on good teams.
He's
right.
never been he's been on a good team.
Yeah, but he wasn't a big contributor.
He's never been a meaningful player on what I would consider a successful / NCAA tournament team. And oh, by the way, if you want to know where the market is, remember when you'd have some people in the industry say things like, you guys can keep talking about NIL, but really, only a handful of people will ever benefit.
Yeah, I know. I'm shocked. Yeah.
This dude has already cashed approximately $175,000 worth of checks. I'm told he averaged 8 points and 5 rebounds for a SMU team that finished outside of the top 70 at KenPom. He was a whatever player for a whatever team, and the market suggests he was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It's pretty wild. Like, when you start seeing these numbers, because I thought that. I bought into that, what you just said, as I was like, yeah, it's only going to be like a handful of guys that are getting big money and stuff.
I always thought it would be everybody. I always thought it would be this.
Yeah.
Because you had boosters quietly throwing money around for decades.
Sure.
And now they were going to be allowed to do it and encouraged to do it. This was going to be their way to feel like they were actually a part of something. And so here we are.
Mm-hmm.
But just know, if you average 8 points and 5 rebounds for a whatever team in the American Athletic Conference, what the market has showed us is that you are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to a major college basketball program.
Hey, good for them.
I don't mind it. I'm not hating. I'm just saying that's where we're at.
It's surprising.
I'm just saying
that.
That's where we're at. So, listen, if I had to bet at this point, I would bet that Tyreek Smith is going to continue to be a member of the Memphis basketball program, and he'll get every dollar that was promised to him in that contract. But if he is out there wanting more than that, well, that's where these things get messy, and he could end up being in violation of the contract as opposed to Memphis or the collective being in violation of any contract. Either way, it's just another public thing that this basketball program does not need. We should be getting to know the names of the players and the potential of the team as opposed to talking about anonymous letters and academic fraud and 4 assistant coaches fired and this kind of stuff. But it's always this kind of stuff, it feels like. I hope one day we'll get away from it.
Yep.
But as far as it goes here, I'm not certain that this is actually one where it's fair to take a club and bang the University of Memphis over the head or bang the collective over the head or bang Penny Hardaway over the head. I'll tell you any of them are wrong when I actually believe they're wrong. But my understanding here is that they are just as blindsided and confused by how all of this went public and got twisted up. They were just as blindsided and confused by it as most of the rest of us.
Number 2.
Tua Tagovailoa said yesterday that he will not wear a Guardian cap when he returns to the NFL. Made 2 things definitively clear. He is no longer interested in even talking about retirement. That is not what he's going to do. And when asked if he's going to wear a guardian cap, now that he's chose to play football under these circumstances, the circumstances being that he's had multiple very public, scary concussions in a way that have led to actual medical professionals saying the smartest thing he could do is walk away. Hey, if you're not going to walk away, you're at least going to wear the guardian cap, right? No, I'm not. Why not? Personal choice. Left it there. What do you make of this?
I think if I was the Dolphins if I was Dolphins ownership, management, and wanted him to wear the guardian cap, I mean, I think I would say, dude, that's fine. If that's your decision, you don't want to wear it. Do not ever, whenever you run with the football, you slide. Do not ever look for contact, ever. Because I mean, look at all the money we've got invested in you. Look at all the public, backlash it's brought upon this organization because of all these, very public concussions. Like, either you do it or you're not taking hit. We're going to avoid you taking hits as much as possible. Don't look for contact.
They are clearly telling him that because Mike McDaniel was saying it out loud in a press conference. He said, listen, we are not allowed to mandate what any of our players wear other than what is mandated that they wear.
Right.
So we can suggest that he wear a guardian cap, and we can encourage him to wear a guardian cap, and we can tell him we'd really like him to. But we're not allowed to make him. And really, it gets into a questionable gray area if we start pressuring him to do it. It's available to him. If he wants one, we got 50 of them.
Yeah.
Whatever color he wants, but we can't make him do that. So Mike McDaniel said, but moving forward, like, some of the responsibility is going to be on Tua. Like, it's not just about, it's a violent game. Sure. But there are ways to be careful. There are ways to be safer. And that means, just like you said, avoid all the contact.
Because listen, I'm not bashing Tua here. I'm saying multiple ones, specifically the last one, and I believe one of the other ones, were because he went into contact. Like, he went head first into contact when he was running with the football. You see a lot of quarterbacks just not doing that at all in the league.
They are both telling him not to do it and reportedly trying to teach him how to be better at it.
Yeah, you got to slide, bro.
Like coaching him like he's 8 years old. Like, there's a way to do this differently, and you need to start doing it.
Like, you don't see Mahomes taking big hits.
No.
He's tiptoeing out of bounds. Like,
Right.
he's avoiding it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, on one hand, I hear this and I just go, like, I don't know this guy. What do I really care? But, like, man, he's a father. And he's a husband. And we're not talking about this like it's something we've never seen before. When you talk about climate change to people, climate change skeptics, you're trying to tell them about how the world's going to be, but you're trying to tell them about something they've never seen and they can't really envision. So you tell them, New York City's going to be underwater someday. And they go, yeah, whatever.
Right.
Because it's not a real thing. We have seen professional football. This makes sense. When we talk about Tua, if you keep playing, you keep taking hits like this, here's what could happen. It's not like, and we're showing him something that hasn't happened yet, like New York City being underwater. We can show him Junior Seau. We can show him any number of retired football players who are in assisted living facilities in their 50s or blowing their brains out in their 40s. Like, this is a real thing that has really happened. This isn't some scientist telling you this has never happened before, but it could someday if you stay on this track. That's a little harder for some people to believe in. It shouldn't be, but it is. We know what happens to people who take hits the way you keep taking hits. We know the mood swings that come with that. We know the suicidal tendencies that come with that. We know the erratic behavior that comes with that. You're really risking a lot. Every father, like the cliche thing you ever hear from fathers and mothers, anybody facing any sort of adversity is, I just want to Just want to see my kids graduate.
Yeah.
Just want to watch my kids grow up. Just want to see, my kids get married. I just want to walk somebody down the aisle someday. Well, by continuing to take hits in the way that you've been taking hits, you're putting all of that at real risk. There's a chance you won't even be able to walk when your kids walk down the aisle. There's a chance you won't be here anymore. There's a chance of all sorts of bad stuff that we've seen happen with other people who took hits like the hits you've taken and will likely take again. When I frame it like that, it makes me sad.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then yesterday at some point, as I was reading about this and thinking about this and going, God, this guy. Like, we all watch this guy go down and it breaks our heart. Like, we've all watched this guy. We remember things about his life he doesn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
We watched him on TV. He has no recollection of it. So when you watch that, it makes you sad. It makes you scared. Then you hear him say, I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. And you're like, what? And at some point yesterday, while holding on to that feeling, I had a totally opposite one. You know what it was? I don't care. Not my problem.
Yeah.
And I started equating it to, do you have a friend who smokes 2 packs a day?
Yeah, right.
Okay. Like, I know that's not good for them. I'm certain they know it's not good for them. They decide to do it anyway. They know the risk. Maybe my father didn't understand the risk when he started smoking, and maybe his father didn't understand the risk when he started smoking. But these days, if you're smoking, you understand what you're doing. All right? And so I have friends who smoke, and I can't remember the last time I said a word to them about it. Because, like, they know what they're doing. It's just like I wouldn't want my friends saying, well, if you have a drink, well, I should probably not drink Diet Coke anymore. I know it's not good for me, right? But I enjoy a Diet Coke sometimes, so I'll have one.
Yeah.
I'm certain a doctor could say you should drink a little less, run a little more. We are all making these choices, and how different is what Tua doing than anything I just described? I got a friend who smokes 2 packs a day. Tua Tagovailoa is going to go play football. Everybody knows what they're risking.
It's true.
Everybody knows what they're not. It's what they want to do. Why do I care? I just decided I'm not going to care. It would be one thing if this was 40 years ago and we didn't know that continuing to play football under these circumstances can lead to all sorts of rough things. They hid this from us, all right? But we know now. There's documentaries, movies, in-depth reporting. Nobody's trying to hide this from Tua or anybody else. He knows exactly what he's getting himself into, and he's comfortable doing it. Why should it matter if I'm comfortable with him doing it? So go play football, man. I'll root for you not to get hurt, but you seem to understand what the stakes are, and you're making a decision, and I don't know if I agree with it, but I think I've decided I don't really care.
I'm with you.
Number 3.
Monday Night Football was last night. We had a doubleheader, and I guess the big one was Ravens 41, Bucs 31. Tampa Bay goes up 10-0. I was feeling good about you.
God, I was feeling good too.
You had the Bucs +4. They go up 10-0.
Yep.
I'm like, here comes Big Bet Bennett back on the winning track. And then Lamar Jackson murdered you.
Yeah. I think if Mike Evans wouldn't have gotten hurt, that game would have been way more competitive.
Yeah, because what was he going to do? Tackle Lamar Jackson? I don't think so.
But he was cooking him. I mean, before he messed up his hamstring, he was cooking him.
Well, should have better hamstrings.
I guess so.
Lamar Jackson, 17 of 22, 281 yards in the air. And he accounted for 5 touchdowns. He ran for 52 yards. MVP.
He'll win it again. Yeah.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
I love Lamar Jackson.
I love Lamar Jackson too. It's one of those weird things. Like, I've always not liked the Ravens, but like one of my favorite players of all time, Steve McNair, played for him after he left the Titans. My favorite player of all time, Derrick Henry, plays for him now. And I like Lamar. Like,
you want to hear a comparison you never heard before?
Yeah.
Here's a comparison you've never heard before. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Zach Edey.
How so?
Lamar Jackson coming out of college, even though he was a Heisman Trophy winner, best player in the country, you know what they told him? You can't do it in the NFL.
Oh, yeah, you got to play wide receiver.
Can't do this in the NFL.
Right.
You're a college quarterback. You're a great college quarterback. But in the NFL, like people like you
Didn't work.
This is not going to work in the NFL. He said, "Okay, we'll see." He's about to be a multi-time MVP. Even when he was in a position where you could trade for him or make an offer for him, or he was going to enter free agency. Remember, you would read reports that would say, even after he was an MVP, you'd read reports and they were like, the Patriots aren't interested. It's like, you're not interested in maybe the best player in the world? One of them, certainly. How could you just, out of hand, be uninterested in a league where all these franchises need quarterbacks? There was a moment in time not too long ago where if you want Lamar Jackson, make a go at it.
Yeah.
And almost everybody was like, yeah, they're not interested. They're not interested. In what world is nobody interested in like one of the best players in the world?
I know.
It'd be like if Juan Soto getting ready to go into free agency and you start just reading reports like the Dodgers aren't interested and the Yankees aren't interested and the Mets aren't interested. What? Why are all these teams that need somebody like him not interested in him? And so what? He just stays in Baltimore, gets his contract, good for him, and just continues to prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
I have a special place in my heart for Lamar Jackson.
No, and I want him to get a Super Bowl. I'd like to see him get a Super Bowl. And I want King Henry to get a Super Bowl. Like, it's hard not to root for those guys. I'd like to see both of them hoist the trophy.
Okay, as a football fan who has no favorite NFL team, I'm affiliated with nobody. What is the thing I would like to see most? Lamar Jackson winning a Super Bowl would be pretty high up there.
It would be awesome.
I cheer for excellence, so I think Chiefs three-peat, I could appreciate that as well. I appreciate excellence, so a rare three-peat in sports, that would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson Super Bowl would be pretty high up on the list. Another Mike Tomlin Super Bowl would be pretty high up on the list.
We are on a crash course for Ravens-Chiefs AFC Championship again. If they stay healthy, that is exactly what I think it's going to be.
And the Buffalo fans, I wouldn't mind seeing the Buffalo fans
I would love the
get
Bills
paid
to
off.
win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, they feel like they deserve.
Amazing.
They feel like they deserve that.
Actually, I mean, if I could see one team win a Super Bowl this year, it would be the Bills.
As a tortured fan of a New York professional sports franchise, I know what it's like to care, be close, and never actually get there. And that is the story of Buffalo, probably even more so than the story of the New York Mets.
Mm-hmm.
I would like that.
Yeah. That'd be cool for them.
I love Lamar Jackson. That's really what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah, the Bucs are in trouble now because they lost their 2-star receivers last night. Chris Godwin,
oh
yeah, brutal. Like, he's done for the year.
He
dislocated his ankle, and then Mike Evans, like, he might have torn his hamstring. I don't think they're doing the MRI today, but like, he was in a lot of pain. So we'll see. That's a bad spot for them.
Well, I wish him luck.
I wish him luck too.
I wish him luck.
Number 4.
So Jameson Williams, this fella with the Detroit Lions, wide receiver out of Alabama, and he's facing another suspension. And when I say he's facing another suspension, that should tell you he's already been through one suspension.
Yeah.
And he just got to the NFL. Why is this guy getting suspended so much?
Dude, I have Mike Evans and Jameson Williams on 3 different fantasy teams.
One of them's dead, and the other one's
is
never allowed to play. This time, it's for violating a performance-enhancing drug policy.
Okay.
It's expected to be a 2-game suspension. This comes after he's already faced a 4-game suspension for illegal game.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
It was one of the apps, and it was a non-football game.
But he did it on property.
On property,
Yeah.
You can't do it on property.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird to me. I don't understand that.
Could you? Are we forbidden from making a bet here?
I hope not.
I hope not.
I never have. Just let me be clear. But
yeah,
I mean, I know what we can't. Bet on.
Yeah,
of course.
Like, could you make a Monday Night Football bet from center court at FedEx Forum?
I will not test it to find out. let me ask around first before I answer that. But I would think so.
I don't know.
But I never have.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to test it. But this fella, I'm always worried about people who just won't stop breaking the rules.
Yeah.
Like, hey, buddy, you can't gamble at the facility. Okay, I'm going to gamble at the facility. Mm-hmm. Hey, buddy, you can't take performance-enhancing drugs. Okay, I'm going to take performance-enhancing drugs. It's like anything you tell him he can't do, he wants to do.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not a good sign. Good at all. That's not a good sign early in your NFL career when they keep telling you don't do these things and you keep doing them.
I like him too. He's fun to watch.
Yeah,
he's a fun player to watch. And I liked he went to when he had his massive game earlier this season, they went to like some Detroit restaurant that just like a little hole in the wall spot, and we're taking pictures, and it was kind of cool. So I like the guy.
He was over there standing in the corner, probably making bets and shooting illegal drugs into his body.
I don't know.
I didn't see that, but I can imagine something like that going on. I hope he gets his life straight. You know?
Yeah.
I hope he gets his life straight.
Yeah, me too.
Number 5.
Jackson Hopper, the 26-year-old man who has been charged with first-degree murder in the death of Ellie Young, the 22-year-old medical student who was killed this weekend at Shelby Farms, has been arraigned. He's being held without bond. I assume that would be the case, but you never know these days, you know? You never know.
Right.
He is being held without bond. He made his first appearance in court yesterday. Got a big black eye. And we'd seen the black eye in the mugshot when it was released. And we were just sort of wondering, like, how did he get that black eye?
Mm-hmm.
And I noted that he, there was a car chase, a pursuit, and car flipped over. So I was like, maybe he got it in a, as a part of the car accident that ended the chase. And then somebody else was like, or maybe they just, beat him up pretty good. I was like, yeah, it's, well, now we have video of his arrest.
Yeah. Might have been a mixture of both.
Buddy, they wore his ass out.
Yeah, they got his ass. I watched the video today.
They said, show me your hands. Show me your hands. He showed them their hands. They pulled him out of that flipped over car. I feel like he was still just doing exactly what they were telling him to do. And they were whop, 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 whop.
They don't
F them up.
They don't mess around in Tipton County.
Buddy.
Yeah, they don't mess around in Tipton County.
Buddy, you ready for this?
They got him.
You ready for this? I watched the video.
Yeah.
That is police brutality. You ready for this? I don't care.
Yeah, it's you know what? I do.
I don't care.
There are levels to this.
This is the first time I've ever been in favor of police brutality.
Yeah,
Normally, I see police brutality. I go, man, like I know those are hard jobs, and I know I got it, but you can't do that.
Right.
I watched this police brutality, and I was cheering them on.
Yeah.
I was like, get him again.
I was too.
Get him again. Get him again. First time in my, I thought I had reached a point in my life where I was crossed the line. I am against police brutality.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't as mature as I thought I was. Maybe I ain't as mature as I thought I was.
No, they dotted him up.
I watched 3 minutes of police brutality, and I was like, I don't mind this.
No, I actually enjoyed it.
I watched it twice, and I only didn't watch it a third time because phone rang. I had to do something.
Yeah.
I was for the police brutality.
No, me too. It's a great video.
It's a great video. They wore him out. But the whole time, because the video, it's not body cam footage. It's a woman with an iPhone.
It's a cell phone video.
Yeah, like it's on the side of the road, and she's just like...
Because his car flipped over, so it's obviously like a crazy scene. His car's flipped over, and then the police have guns drawn on the flipped over car.
Oh, buddy.
Right.
And they were ready to go.
Yeah.
This is like opening day for them.
Yeah.
This is the best day they've ever had because they looks like they live for this stuff. And a woman is iPhone filming the whole thing, and she clearly doesn't know a woman was just murdered at Shelby Farms. This is the person who allegedly did it. She just thinks we saw a car flip over. Cops got the car, and she's just like, this is wild. She's filming. And then they start, whop. And she's like, stop hitting him. You can't hit him like that.
She didn't know the context.
She didn't know the context.
She didn't know the context.
Okay, because it's hilarious. You got to listen to it with the audio on. And like whoever the man is with her, he's like, baby, you got to stay out of this. Like, baby, you got to pick your fights.
Yeah.
He's like, baby, this ain't our business.
Right.
One of them deals.
Yeah.
And she's like, but they shouldn't be hitting him like that. She's trying to be a good citizen, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the cops is like, he's wanted for murder. And she was like, thank you, officer.
Yeah.
She was like, thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Let me at that point, she was ready to jump over there and kick him in the head one time,
Yeah.
Like if I'd have been there, I might have got a kick in too.
Yeah, me too.
I want it to be clear. I'm still against police brutality. If you cannot be a law enforcement official without beating on people unnecessarily, then you're in the wrong line of work. I understand it's a hard job. I wouldn't do it. But if you can't do it right, you shouldn't do it either. I'm against police brutality.
But if someone murders someone,
Bennett, I'm against police brutality. That's what I want the clip to show. All right?
Okay.
All right? I'm just saying, when I watched this one, I didn't mind it.
No, I think there's levels to this.
When I watched this one, I was okay with it. When I watched this one, I was like, hit him again.
Yeah, if you're a murderer, I think you deserve to get dotted up a little bit while you're getting arrested. That's my stance.
Bennett, as I sit here today, I don't know if I'd agreed with you this time last week.
Mm-hmm.
But as I watched that unfold, I didn't mind it.
Mm-mm. Not at all. I actually enjoyed the video.
The first time in a while I've seen some good old police brutality, and I didn't mind it.
Same.
I was ready to turn the cheek.
Same.
Whatever you guys do to this fella, that's what you do to this fella. It ain't none of my business. Be back with GP's Carryout.
What you got in weight since your rookie year?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Rookie, you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Congratulations to the Vanderbilt Commodores. They have actually hit the over on their win total for the season. Winning number 3. Their total was 2.5.
Hey, listen. If I had told you Vanderbilt was going to hit the over on their win total against Alabama, you guys would have kicked me off the show.
Crazy. Absolutely insane.
I tried to argue that they were going to be bowl eligible.
I said that was good, and they still might not be.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Can't wait. It's time to get it popping. It's going to be crazy. The fans are going to be loud. We need just energy.
We're going to need, the form rocking. We're going to need, everybody in Memphis to be out there to come to support.
When the fans are good, we're good. Simple as that.
A Bane three, yes sir! Desmond Bane with ice water in his veins.
We'll ride the energy together.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzlies stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're inside the Built Ford Tough studio. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but I think the main thing, eye-opening for me, figured out we ain't against police brutality just as much as we thought we was.
Right.
I thought this time yesterday, I was like, I'm against, you could ask me any set of circumstances. GP, you okay with police brutality? I'd say, no, I'm not okay with police brutality. It's been going on too long in our country. It's time to end it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched a video of undeniable police brutality last night, and I was like, I don't mind this so much. I don't mind this.
Not at all.
It feels right. I know it's wrong. I know it's illegal, at least. I know it's against policy. I know they weren't following protocol when they were just pop, 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 pop. I mean, they wouldn't stop. It was real police brutality.
I mean, in fairness, you can't even see the guy. I just want to be clear.
Sure.
You see the police officers. You don't see the guy.
Yeah,
so you don't really. You can't prove that anything happened there.
They could have been punching the ground.
The air.
They could have just been punching air.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's no proof they beat that dude up.
I thought I was against police brutality, and I am still, generally speaking. But when I watched that police brutality, police beating the shit out of 26-year-old Jackson Hopper, who has been charged with, in the middle of the day at Shelby Farms, putting bullets into his ex-girlfriend and taking her life at 22, I didn't mind seeing him getting brutalized.
No.
In fact, I'm not proud of that. I've never said I'm perfect. Have I ever said I'm perfect?
No.
Have I ever said I'm not flawed?
No.
I'm flawed in many ways. I think I'm mostly about the right stuff. I think my heart's usually in the right place.
I think so, too.
Usually. I'm still against police brutality. If I could snap my fingers and end it, I would. I'm just saying when I watched that, I didn't mind it.
No.
I didn't mind it at all. I never said I was perfect. Just didn't mind it that much.
What's today's biggest game?
We're going to the nightcap out in Los Angeles where history is expected to be made. LeBron James Sr. and LeBron James Jr. are expected to take the court together at some point. When they do, they will become the first father-son duo in history to appear in a regular season NBA game at the same time. Timberwolves are in town, and they're 1.5-point favorites on the road. You can move Karl Anthony Towns to New York City, but that won't prevent Minnesota from being a favorite on the road against LeBron and Bronny and the Lakers. Totals 221.5, tips at 9 on TNT. How you going to act?
You know, I do think that the Karl Towns thing is going to affect them more than most people probably think. I think you see a lot of, it's addition by subtraction. Like, this is going to be Anthony Edwards' team now. And Karl Anthony Towns was a massive.
Anthony Edwards suddenly doesn't have as much room to play in.
Right.
His stretch 5 is now in New York City.
Yeah. Also, I think Anthony Davis is going to cook Gobert. So I'm going to go Lakers here.
Based on the emergence of Dalton Connect.
Oh, please don't let him have an amazing game tonight before Zach Edey even plays in an NBA game. I don't want to hear it.
They'll be handing Dalton Connect.
Please, I don't care if Dalton Connect scores 40 points tonight. Can we at least watch Zach Edey play in an NBA game before we make these grand statements about their careers?
You let Dalton Connect go for 30 tonight on TNT. They're going to have him the Rookie of the Year award by tomorrow morning.
No question. No question. So, yeah, I'm going Lakers.
Bennett said take the Lakers.
Come on, man. It's a special moment. It's a special night.
Special
Can't
moment.
lose.
Special moment for fathers and sons all over this world.
Absolutely.
Tonight, Bennett and every other father in this world would be able to sit on the couch with his son, turn on TNT, experience this moment together. And I do this all the time. Like, I try to use real life moments to teach lessons to my children.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, what can we take away from this? What can we take away from that? And tonight, I won't be home, but perhaps I'll FaceTime with my boys. And I think the message we'll all be able to tell our sons tonight is that if we ever get so powerful as fathers in any industry, we'll be able to take our sons and drop them into that industry, whether they deserve it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real special meaning in there, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm going to tell my sons. Odds are you're going to have to make it on your own. But if I ever get so powerful that I could drop you into an industry where your talent doesn't suggest you belong, then we too can have a moment just like this. Go Lakers.
Go Lakers.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in Family Secrets, the disappearance of Alyssa Turney? You don't even know Alyssa Turney disappeared.
I'm unfamiliar with Alyssa.
You don't even know that she disappeared.
What happened
you
to
ain't
her?
even missed her. You ain't even missed her for a second.
Mm-hmm.
2001, she lived in Arizona.
Okay.
Disappeared. Hence the name, Disappearance of Beth.
Still gone?
Never been found.
Okay.
Her father was a suspect.
Okay.
Initially. So they raided his home, and they found no evidence that he killed the daughter. But they found incredible amounts of evidence that he was planning to do some wild stuff and blow up a thing and everything. Which seems crazy if you're a suspect in a murder to be trying to... At that point, you should be trying to get away with the murder, not trying to create other problems. But
right.
What do I know? I never murdered. So they don't find any evidence that he got anything to do with the daughter's disappearance, but they find all this other stuff, and they charge him, convict him. He does 10 years in prison.
Oh, wow.
For this totally different thing. Gets out of prison. They are investigating the murder still. They ultimately charge him with murder, with his daughter's murder. All right? All charges subsequently dropped. They have never found a body and never found any evidence.
Damn.
They believe he did it.
Yeah.
And he has another daughter. And she believes
he did it.
He did it. And this documentary is her going back through her childhood with her and her sister and looking for clues. Like, what did I miss? What did I see? And it's just her telling the story. I believe my dad murdered my sister, but my dad is a free man.
Wow.
Even to this day.
Where can I watch this?
Peacock.
Okay.
Peacock, that's where I found it, just right on the cover of Peacock.
Okay.
So going over there to Peacock, Family Secrets, the disappearance of Alyssa Turney. Here's the description. I just told you about it, but here's the actual description. Yep. Sarah Turney became a viral sensation when she posted suspicions on social media that her dad killed her sister, Alyssa. Sarah re-examines her and Alyssa's childhood, breaking through years of manipulation to reconstruct the truth. She's trying to reconstruct the truth. I hope she succeeds. You can watch it right now. Peacock.com.
What's the best thing we've read?
Tom Fernelli, my colleague, CBS Sports, got a 7-minute read on the cover of CBSSports.com right now. On USC and the Lincoln Riley issue they've run into there, thing ain't going so well.
No, it's not.
You think you take a guy who's one of the best coaches in the sport and give him one of the best jobs in the sport. Well, how's that not going to work? I don't know, but it's not. Tom Fernelli's got a breakdown of it. You can read it. CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
Yep.
Grizz season opener.
Let's go.
In Salt Lake City against the Jazz. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here. I saw some in the chat ask. I mentioned I got to go to Kansas City. They said, what is in Kansas City? Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes.
Y'all going to hang out? Go get some Arthur Bryant's?
Probably not. I doubt I'm going to see them.
Gotcha.
Big 12 Media Day is tomorrow at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. So I doubt I'll see Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, but I'm certain that I will see Bill Self and Scott Drew.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah.
You know, better than nothing. Luckily for me, I'm surrounded by talented people here. So Lang Whitaker is going to sit in this chair.
Yep.
Bennett Doyle is going to sit in that chair, and they'll get you ready for tomorrow night's season opener.
Mike will be in here, so
Mike Wallace, of course, he'll be in that chair.
We'll break it all down.
Yeah, y'all won't need me.
Yep.
Y'all don't need me. You'd be better off without me, probably. Less stories about murder, I'm certain.
Yeah.
You know, less stories about murder, I'm sure. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. Meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good, rep your hood.